Have you ever wanted a client to see what you were seeing when you were filming for them, but not have them over your shoulder? Well, yeah, me too. So what do? You shove them way in the corner because baby does sit in the corner when you have a wireless transmitter and receiver for HDMI up to 1080p, up to 600 feet distance. Yes. And now you can put baby in the corner. It's fun. Hi, I'm Jared Hoyman, and welcome back to the channel where, well, today we're going to be talking about the SHIMBOL HDMI transmitter receiver. It's the TP Mini by SHIMBOL. And if you haven't heard of SHIMBOL, well, neither have I until they reached out to me. So yes, they did send this to me for review, and I get to keep it, and I will keep it. I will be using this in the future because it is actually pretty fun. But they have not looked at this video ahead of time. They did not pay me to make this video. They just sent this to me, trusting that I would make a video. So today I'm going to test out the transmission with this. I'm going to give you my views on what I think about it. And then I think we'll end it playing some Nintendo Switch wirelessly. Now, yes, I know, I understand it's wireless, but we're going to do a wireless HDMI on my OLED TV here. I'm going to tell you what that latency looks like when doing 1080p wireless devices like that. And where this really shines, I'm going to tell you already, is going to be with the wireless monitoring when you want a client to look at what you're looking at, but not have them over your shoulder. I hate it. Well, you think you can do my job better than me? Huh? You think? No? Okay, then get out of here. Now you don't have to say that. You just say, hey, you go about 600 feet down there and we'll be golden. Oh, and real quick, I am not going to test this necessarily, but where this really does shine, according to their website, is in broadcasting. If you're at a sports event, you can have somebody monitoring down the line or having it into a recorder. We are going to be testing it on the Atomos Ninja V, and that's how we're going to monitor it as well. So we're going to try it with the V, without the V, and we'll go from there. And then I'm going to give you my final thoughts here. And obviously the link is going to be below because I actually do highly recommend this already for $89. I've spent more money on cables in the past. All right, until I have my Canon R5 Mark II, I only have the Canon R7 looking at me. And I'm obviously working with this, the R6 Mark II, and then my iPhone 15. Which isn't bad, actually. The image quality isn't going to be horrible on it. It's not going to be the best, but it is an option. We should do videos on that sometimes and show you how it can work out. But right now, we are looking at the Atomos Ninja in a clean feed. And so the clean feed, I'm going to show you it a little bit here. As you can see, it is feeding to my OLED right there. So in the back of the OLED TV, I have the receiver, and then this is the transmitter. And in order to get this clean feed, we had to go into our settings right here, into menu, and your HDMI display is going to be showing that with Canon. Now, if we go into this mode, you are going to be able to show your clients, again, what you're seeing. It's going to be not a clean feed, but you can record directly onto the SD card in here. If you go into the other mode, you are going to be only able to record onto the solid state drive that is connected onto the Atomos Ninja. So either using the Ninja for recording externally and then showing your clients what it looks like, that would be the route to go that way. But if you want to record internally and you're just on the go, you are going to be wanting to go into just this mode right here. And that way you won't be able to see it, unfortunately, on the monitor, but your Atomos Ninja is going to be attached, or any other monitor is going to be attached directly on top of your camera and mounted so you can see what you're supposed to see. Plus, you're going to have more accurate colors this way. The Andy Cine, which I use as a monitoring system, is a lot cheaper. It's less than $200, and you have HDMI in and HDMI out, and that's exactly what you're going to need to do with this. So as we see, I have a mess here. So we have the HDMI that is out, and it goes right into the in on the Atomos Ninja, and then out, the out right here on the Atomos Ninja goes right into our transmitter, and that is into the inside. And then it is wirelessly transmitting to the receiver behind the TV, and that is how we are getting that image. So obviously that is, you're going to have smaller and shorter HDMI cables to make this work. You would have this mounted on here, and this is very light. And then you could have a Sony battery plugged in, or you can power it externally like I'm doing right now with HDMI. But the Sony battery will last a long time on here because it takes a little power just to run this. And that is honestly the way to do it for monitoring through here. It looks like a crazy thing, but now you've got wireless monitoring, and that wireless monitoring is going to be huge if you're on set or kind of on the go and you want your client to see what you see. You now have that kind of image right there, and they know exactly what you're shooting at, 4K 23.98 frames per second, and they would know, the look and the framing. And that way they're not kind of shocked and like, that's not the shot I wanted. Now, when it comes to the Ninja V or the Ninja V Plus, this is the Ninja V Plus, this is a big battery, but this thing definitely needs the juice. So this will last a long time. You could do a smaller battery, half the size, and you'll get what you need from that. But you mount this on here and you are getting some nice mobile shots and then showing your clients exactly the shots you're getting. And then again, I am now recording. So as you can see, and the client can see in the upper right hand that it is recording on their monitor. And again, this is wireless. The delay isn't horrible. It's a matter of just milliseconds, and which isn't bad when it comes to monitoring for video and for clients to see what you are shooting. Or if you have somebody that needs to pull focus, they can do that as well. Okay, this is the most Jared-tific I've ever been. And so what we've got here, let me explain it a little bit. What we have is I have the KNF Concept V mount. And by the way, charging two USBs. So it's USB-A and USB-C to the dock of the switch, which is USB-C. So A to C. And then it is also keeping this alive as well. So this V mount is C to C. And so we're just going to look at what the latency is like if you were going to use this. Again, $89 for this. And if you have a Nintendo Switch, you're just getting 1080p anyways. So that's not bad. So the latency should be actually pretty good, better than if you're playing on a projector. So obviously the controller latency isn't bad at all because the wireless there is good. Maybe just a tad delayed a little bit. Again, I think we're this $89 easy buy, just buy it. 89 bucks. Where it comes in is really remote monitoring for production. Could you do some videos and movies? Maybe not video games so much. I do notice a tiny delay, enough that if you're a serious gamer, it's not going to be fun for you. But the image quality is still good. I did see a little bit of was that a screen tearing? Or maybe that was just in the game. Yeah, there is a tiny little bit of screen tearing I'm noticing in here, but it is so minute. I really don't know if you'd actually do this in a game scenario. If you're watching a 1080 movie and you have it somewhere else in a different room, maybe. I don't know. You tell me, would you use this in that kind of scenario? Or does it just make more sense to do it as a monitor in production for remote monitoring for clients? Is it practical? Probably not. But is there a use case? Possibly. And you tell me below in the comments, because there's probably something I haven't even thought about. Now, I did have a test where I went out into the backyard, and at some point, with all the Wi-Fi stuff going on in my office and in my house, it did get disconnected. At what point? I'm not sure. They do claim that it's going to be perfect when it goes into an open field, like a soccer field, football field, and you're doing some kind of broadcasting and recording on the receiving end of things. Here, I wasn't able to necessarily do that test, so you're going to have to take their word for it. But for $89, I'm willing to make that mistake. Now, I will tell you that my wife was monitoring the monitor as I was walking around the house in all four corners, and we have a lot of distractions inside of the house with different frequencies, and she said that it was actually pretty good. Now, in reality, your client is going to be in eyesight and not that far away, probably in the corner, because we are putting baby in the corner. And so you're not going to have this issue with line of sight and different frequencies interrupting that transmission. So again, do I recommend these for $89? Yes, I would have bought these. There's definitely a case use for these. Where it does shine if you have a Canon is if you're using an external monitor. And that would be either the Atomos Ninja, which is an overkill if all you need is a monitor. But if you already have one, you might as well use it. Otherwise, the Andy Cine that I've used is great. SHIMBOL makes one as well. Now, I have never tested out a SHIMBOL one. Wink. But if SHIMBOL wants to send me one, I believe there are a few that may have wireless transmissions already built into them, which is a whole different story. A lot more expensive. But if you want to take an existing monitor that you already have and make it wireless, this is the way to go. And if you want to play around with anything in your theater, you can definitely do that with these too. There might be some latency, but if you're not playing video games, the latency isn't that bad to watch. If you found any value in this video at all, well, there's the like button and also the subscribe button if you're not already on the crazy train. And this is a fun, crazy train. And if you made it this far, you might as well just watch these videos. They were programmed for you to watch. I'm sorry, you are now in the Matrix. I am not Morpheus, though. I am just a bald white guy.